Hello there, survivors. Welcome back to another video on ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I'm showing you all a build in progress. It's not quite finished yet, but it's so big. I really wanted to show it off that I figured let's do a little update about the little bit before the halfway point, I would say. It's a giant modern tech base. As you can see, it has a big pyramid as the middle part of it and an A-frame on one of the sides, and two of the other sides are nowhere near completed yet. But yeah, it's gonna be a giant base. You should not have any issues getting all your dinos in here, having plenty of space for storage, for everything you could possibly need. And my goal is, of course, to also try and make it look really nice. I think I'm doing pretty well. Let's jump into it. Alright, so I'm at the opposite side of the big canyon here on the map. It's located right here if you want to know where my base is. So I'm standing right there. My base is on the other side of the canyon, and it's a beautiful spot with the blue water down there in the rivers. There's a couple of waterfalls as well. So a very beautiful place to live. I am building my giant modern tech base, pyramid, A-frame, you name it, I've got it. Now, it's nowhere near complete, but I just wanted to show it off and maybe get some suggestions and feedback from you guys before I finish the rest of the build. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Yeah, as you can see, it is a big boy. I think the main platform everything stands on is 40 by 40, if I'm correct. So yeah, it is very big. And I tried to go for a pyramid, but make it way more unique and, of course, very modern and everything. So it's basically going to be resting on 4 smaller pyramids that are upside down on the platform, which will allow you to have a giant platform underneath where you could store a bunch of dinos. And then I've tried to add details to this platform because I had to raise it up, because obviously I didn't find like a perfect flat spot where I could build a foundation this big without having to go up with ceiling. So there is foundations under there. It's just raised to a level where I can actually connect everything together, because at the back you will see it's not actually quite that high. You can also see it's only about halfway. It's a little bit before halfway, because obviously I'll probably add more details once we get going and doing the interiors or the levels, the everything. There's still much to be done, but I just wanted to show you off what I got. So this is actually the side where I started. It's also the more traditional pyramid side. Try to add in some details with having this big line going on, dividing the whole shape, adding some extra depth into it because it's sticking out from the normal pyramid. Then I added these 2 landing platforms, which makes it easy to get into the main part of the build. Like, this is probably going to be like the main house or whatever. Like, it's going to be huge. Like, this is really going to be a big ass base. Like, I think everything you will ever need could be easily fit inside of this thing. It's that big. It's really big. But yeah, we've got a couple of layers again, similar to my normal pyramid design, but now with the modern touch. I'm using the clear glass mod to be able to change normal greenhouse walls into this other look, because it just looks a little bit better. I think there's also an option for custom cosmetics to do the same. If you can't install any mods, you could still get a similar look. But yeah, that makes the glass, especially for these modern builds, just look a whole lot better. And I think technically, I guess you could also use a frontier skin glass, although they won't look quite as modern, but it's still close enough if you don't have access to any of those other options. But yeah, it's a good start, I guess. Brings in a lot of light to the inside as well. Try to add in a couple of different windows designs, just basically to break it up, add in some details, add in different levels, a little bit of depth. We got these returning from my other previous ultimate modern tech base, because I really like those diagonal lines to add in some shape and detail to a modern build. And then on the top we have a greenhouse pyramid, just to let in even more light at the top of the build as well, which I think does a really nice job of dividing this all up. And you can see I tried to add in a bunch of details here by adding in different layers, a little bit of metal. Most of this is built with tech, but a little bit of the details and the different colors is by using a little bit of metal. But to be honest, if you would ever attempt to build this in survival, you probably just want to use metal instead of tech, because that would be very, very expensive to make. So yeah, that is this side, but yeah, that's definitely not all of it. I've also already been working a lot on this other side right here, and this is more of a big A-frame entrance with a behemoth gate, so that even in the main house portion of the build, you could still fit in pretty much any dino as well, which I think will just be very convenient to get resources and everything into your base. But yeah, I really like the look of this side as well, because you still see the pyramid, but it has a grand big entrance as well. I still need to update the textures from the greenhouse here to make it into the nice shiny glass that we have on the other sides. But yeah, it's still a work in progress, as I said. So we've got the main big stairs going up to the main living quarters. So that's the main build, the main pyramid. But then of course you also want to be able to access the normal layer, the foundation layer. So there's some stairs on both sides where you can go up underneath the other staircase, and there's on both of the sides there is one, and that will bring you underneath the main pyramid into this room where you can basically store a bunch of dinos, because this will have a lot of space. And I'm even creating some rooms in these upside down pyramids, like so. You can see it's still pretty roomy in here. So you could use these as, I don't know, breeding pens or something like that, because you still have a bunch of room here and it's nicely hidden away, easy to keep safe as well. You could use them as breeding rooms, or maybe as some farm rooms. Maybe you have like snails in one of them, maybe some penguins or whatever. It depends, of course, if you're transferring dinos over or whatever. But you could have some proper farm setup in some of these side bits. But yeah, as you can see, obviously this is only half of it, because I haven't done the other two sides. Now what I'm probably going to do is try and line up a train station over here on this side, so I can have my track going by this, and we also have a train connection into the base. Since me personally, at least on Scorched Earth, I want to try and connect every base that I have to the central hub, my western town that I'm building, just so that we have a proper use of the trains there. And it's just fun. It's going to be fun riding around on the train and visiting my different bases once they're all completed and built up. But yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do at the back, since I don't have that much room to extend, and it's just a perfect space to kind of bring in the train and run it by here, and yeah, have it nicely connected. And it could even run through that little archway in the rocks, which would be a really scenic route to take, I think. And then on this side over here, I'm probably going to do something, well, not the exact same as on the other side, not the A-frame, but definitely also a bigger entrance, because I think it would be nice to be able to access from this side as well, and then not just the normal platform, but also the living part as well, because this is another good direction you could be coming from with some tames or whatever. So I think this is going to be another entrance, but I'm just going to try and make it something completely different to what I'm doing on the other side, so that we have the most amount of variation in this build, because I mean it is really big, so you want to have a decent amount of variation in there if possible at all. So yeah, big plans. I have a lot to do, but if you've got any suggestions of things that I should add to this build whilst I'm still working on it, maybe things for the train stations or anything that I haven't even mentioned yet, and especially also like different rooms or things you would like to see on the inside, because of course I'm going to be trying to do a bunch of the inside and the different layers of the base as well. Design some nice things for those. So if you've got any suggestions or what things you would like to see inside of a base like this, please let me know, and then I'll try to include it. Now, before you start asking, no, I won't be making a full tutorial for this build, but I am recording me building this entire thing. So at least there will be a video of me showing off the entire process once it's completely done. But it won't be a step-by-step tutorial. It will be like a speed build, most likely, because otherwise it would take hours and hours and hours just to watch it. But that, of course, means that when I'm designing this, sometimes I go back and forth, change some things. So yeah, it might be a little bit more tricky to follow, but this is a very, very, very big build. So yeah, it would take me hours to make it into a full tutorial. And I don't think once I finish this giant build that I'm likely to want to build it a second time again. So just so you know, but there will be a video exactly showing off how I did it. So you could still do it if you're crazy enough to attempt to build this. But you'll have to wait a little bit longer because, yeah, I still need to finish and build the other half of this as well. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today. Please leave your suggestions, your feedback, anything down in the comments below. If you like this video and you want to see more, you want to see the process of this pyramid, this modern big base, please make sure you're subscribed, leave a comment, leave a like, and if you want to support me even more, you can even become a member. And hopefully see you around in the next video. Goodbye.